In last video, we have discussed about moon in the 8th house of the horoscope. In this video, we are going to talk about what happens when you have Mercury in the 8th house of your horoscope. So keep watching. Namaste and welcome to Pramanik Astrology channel. I'm your host Prasad Mahazani. Help you raise your vibrations and become your true self with the help of Vedic Astrology. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. You'll be getting Vedic astrological videos just like this one. And these videos will help you go further faster into Vedic astrological studies. If you are looking for readings and consultations, check out the link into the description section and go for the intensive horoscope analysis. If you have any question, put your question into the comment of any of my YouTube videos. I read all the comments and I try to reply to almost all the comments due to high volume. Sometimes I miss something and that is not intentional. I genuinely miss that. My apologies for that. And if you have any question regarding the reading, you can always ping me on Instagram at Pramanik Astrology. Mercury in the 8th house of the horoscope. Before we talk about Mercury in the 8th house of the horoscope, what is 8th house? 8th house is the house of longevity, death and rebirth, is the house of sex, reproduction, is the house of charisma, is the house of the inheritance and big money. It is the house of sudden gains and losses, ups and downs, as we discussed. 8th house also signifies the joint asset with your partner. It also signifies the sales. You won't believe. That is the reason 3rd house is also about marketing and sales. But that is because 3rd is ultimate 8th house. 8th from the 8th. We'll talk about this some other day. Today we are talking about the 8th house. So 8th house is also about the sales. So 8th house is also the house of exploring the mysticism and occult, and the real quest for the truth can also be seen with the 8th house. 8th house is the house of the deepest secrets. It is the darkest house of the zodiac. 8th house is also the house of psychology, and astrology can also be seen with the 8th house. Now let us see what is Mercury. The first thing which comes to my mind when I think of Mercury is the intellect. Mercury is intellectual planet. In the celestial cabinet, sun is your soul, moon is your manas, and 3rd is Mercury, which is the intellect. Mercury is very close to the human nature. Mercury is practical. Mercury is witty and business oriented. Mercury is all about organization. You won't believe, you will feel that Mercury is a young and fun-loving guy. No, but he is also one of the most organized planet. That is the reason it rules the 6th house of the organization in the natural horoscope, along with Virgo sign. Virgo sign is also a very organized sign. Mercury loves to organize the information. Mercury is very good at reading the words, understanding the words, patterns and symbolism, numbers, anything which is symbolic. Mercury is very good at it. And what is astrology? Astrology is about the science. Okay, so Mercury does a great job in understanding a lot of complex rules as well. Wherever there is a structure, design, organized information, Mercury excels in those areas of the studies. Mercury is all about the neutrality, balance, and a fun-loving personality. Mercury is all about the communication. Mercury is neutral. Okay, there are many other significations of the Mercury as well. If you have not watched my Mercury, the planet Mercury video, I'll put that into the card. Just go and watch that video. Okay, so what is Mercury in the 8th house? The planet of communication, is coming into the house of secrecy. Mercury loves to communicate. Mercury is all about that outgoing personality which loves to connect with others and talk about the feelings, and basically Mercury is all about the communication. But guess what? Eighth house is? Eighth house is about the secrecy. Eighth house is all about things which are hidden. So the planet of secrecy, the planet of communication is coming to the house of secrecy. So it has two impacts on the person. First is the Mercury cannot keep secrets here. If you want to share secret, don't share it with the person with the Mercury in the 8th house, because he likes to speak. Now he has the secret, he will speak about it. Sometimes it's good, but if it's your personal secret, don't tell these guys. Okay? So if you want to keep your secret, don't tell this to person with the Mercury in the 8th house. Next, Mercury is an intellectual planet. 8th house is the house of the deepest, darkest secrets. It's the deep house. So when the planet of intellect come into the house of depth, it brings in that deep intellect to that person. The person with the Mercury in the 8th house can see through things which nobody else can. Okay. Here's the thing about the 8th house. All the planets will bring in their element, as we discussed in the last video. Sun will come and just light up everything and can see it easily. It's his style. We are not here to judge whether it's good or bad. It's Sun's style to illuminate, to shed light on and bless. Moon is more about the feelings. Moon will feel the 8th house things. That emotional connect is Moon's style to understand the 8th house secrets. Mercury is practical and is intelligent. He won't be able to feel it. He does not have the sun's light, yet he will decode the information. He will organize the information, and once he organizes the information, he is the best planet to look for the patterns. You will surprise to know what the person with the 8th house Mercury comes up with. The patterns, if you're talking about astrology, he will come up with such an patterns and data and diagrams that you will be surprised. Like he will come up with something like, those who have Mercury in the 8th house or have Saturn in the 10th house will have so and so career. They will come up with the data, and you will be surprised to know that how true that data is. Only Mercury in the 8th house can do this. They are excellent at processing the information and looking for the patterns, because Mercury is good with words, numbers, patterns, symbolism. The planet of organization is coming into the house of abstract. Mercury is the organized planet. Yes, it is fun loving, but he is excellent at organizing the information. So yes, he is fun loving and always looking for the fun and recreation activities, but he is more than that. Mercury is intelligence, and now that intelligence is coming into the 8th house. I'm loving this. So we're talking about the abstract and the Mercury. Next, Mercury is the planet of organization, and 8th house is the house of abstract things. 8th house, 12th house are the houses of abstract things. You cannot really define what's happening in these houses. 8th house is sudden along with being abstract, and Mercury is organized. So Mercury kind of frustrates here due to this signification of the house. So Mercury will always have all the details well placed on the table before he starts something to analyze. So he's ready with everything. He won't go unprepared. He doesn't like it. But all the things, especially spiritual things, are not written on the stones. There is always that perhaps. The word perhaps is for the spirituality. That perhapsism is the essence of the spirituality. So it is very difficult to understand the spirituality for Mercury. Yet he is always trying to decode the mystical and occult secrets of the eighth house with its intellect. The planet of communication is coming into the house of secrets. We talked about the first impact of it, like they cannot keep secrets. But here's the thing: the person with the eighth house Mercury is very good at communicating these occult and abstract subjects. They are very good at communicating with the eighth house things. Okay, usually the person with the Mercury in the eighth house doesn't like to speak much, because the communication signification of the Mercury does not have any scope in the eighth house realm, because it is deep down. So it doesn't get a chance to really connect with people. But guess what? From the eighth house, Mercury aspects the second house of the horoscope. So now Mercury speaks up. So these are the people who love to talk about the eighth house things now. If they are into public speaking, they will speak about the spirituality, the occult mysticism, all that is eighth house. They will talk about this. Why they will talk about this? First, it is Mercury, and now it is aspecting the second house of your speech from the eighth house of the secrets. Okay. Next, the person with the Mercury in the eighth house is a shy person. I won't say shy, but he's a very quiet person. He doesn't speak much. So he does not have large friend circle as expected by the Mercurian people. Okay, as against Mercury in the third house or first house, 11th house. They're super popular. They have larger friend circles. But now Mercury is into the eighth house. So this kind of restricts their friend circle, because the other person cannot understand what's going on with this person. Whatever the person with the eighth house is speaking doesn't make sense and hardly relates with anyone, because that is so deep. It needs some other person with the Mercury in the eighth house to really understand what he is talking about. So Mercury in the eighth house, people have very little friends. Okay. Mercury is the planet which is great with finances. Do you remember we talked about Mercury as a businessman? Mercury is the planet which has inherent capabilities with the finance. He is a born financial planner. He's good with making money and increasing the money and everything related to money management. He has that inherent knowledge of money. Now the planet of business is coming into the house of sudden gains and house of other people's money. So these people are very good with getting money from other people, be it donations, be it insurance, inheritance, sales. These people are amazing with all these significations. Mercury in the eighth house person excels at getting money from others. And what do I mean by getting? With his communication, of course. That's why sales and businessmen. From eighth house, Mercury aspects the second house of the horoscope. And now Mercury likes to talk about eighth house things. Mercury is quiet in the eighth house, but when he speaks, everybody listens, because he speaks out of the world. He talks about the things which nobody has ever thought of, because he has dived deep into the eighth house with his antenna open. He is intellectual, and now he has deep dive into the occult and mysticism. So now when he is out of it, and now when he talks about it to the public, very few people can understand that. But those who do will always respect him, will always note him, because they will sense that this is something deep. What is that deep? That deep is the eighth house secret. And what is that? It is the eighth house secret which he has found with his intelligence. If you're just starting into Vedic astrology, what to watch next? Go and watch my Rising Signs playlist, or go and watch how to get started into Vedic astrology series. Or if you want to know more about the retrograde planets, go and watch the retrograde planet series. Otherwise, just go to my playlist tab and just browse any series and start exploring the fascinating world of Vedic astrology. Sending you tons of positive energy, sending you high vibrations. See you in the next videos. Love and peace.